My toilet just made the weirdest noise, and I thought someone was unzipping my house.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Sponge Dudes. It is myself, Babbage.
And me, Clayton.
And
Tim, Tom, Timmy, Jim Jam.
I Noah.
I was introduced in the previous podcast.
What was your name?
Alright, and there we go. We will be watching episodes of SpongeBob and then giving our honest, unbiased opinions on them as we go through them, starting with season 1 or working our way through. We reviewed episode 1 already, and this is episode 2, which will include 2A and 2B, which is going to be the BubbleStand episode, and then the Ripped Pants episode. So we will start with BubbleStand. Alright, fellas, so, the main concept of this is SpongeBob's having a bored day. He opens up a bubble stand and then tries to teach people how to blow bubbles for 25 cents and then offers lessons for 25 cents as well. And, let's go ahead and get started. Anything right off the bat when he's building the stand?
He's a menace. I just gotta get it out of the way.
He's
just
a very
don't harp
loud
on it.
neighbor.
He's a
Very
menace.
loud. I feel like every day he's doing something to disrupt.
About
Everyone
my
does.
third note down, I have, honestly, SpongeBob sucks.
Fair.
Squidward asked him to be quiet to enjoy his day off. Like, he's just like, hey, can you keep that shit down? SpongeBob goes, yeah, you bet. And then he doesn't. And then, and then, whatever happens ensues because it's a SpongeBob episode and that's what has to happen. But, like, fuck that dude, you know?
Yeah, Squiddy was just trying to play his soothing clarinet solo.
Yeah, he's working on it. My other question would be, how much do you think those bubble blowing lessons are now? A lot of inflation. What do you guys think?
What was SpongeBob's price in the episode?
25 cents.
25 cents.
25 cents. Well.
Dollar easy
years
now, huh?
ago.
Nah, because a candy bar is probably like, what, $3 now?
What?
Candy
Whatever.
bars were like 25 cents back whenever that show came out, probably, right? Or were they like $1?
I feel
As
like
a
they're probably
2-year-old
more.
at the time, I can remember.
Things were definitely cheaper then, but I do not have a exact sense.
So I was the only one that can remember in 1999, because that was when I was not 2 years old, and candy bars were not 25 cents.
Okay,
Then I
confirmed.
don't know.
Bit of a hit and miss of a question here.
If you can remember, how much were they?
Oh, now you've asked me a real question, and I don't have any answer. I'll just shoot myself in the head and then disappear.
Good lord.
Let's use Google. Average price of candy bar.
It's more fun. It's more fun to just make up.
Now we need to know.
That's the strange. It's apparently candy costed 43 cents per ounce on average in 1999. So.
There you go. All right, so we're guessing about 50 to 60 cents.
Yeah, so that seems close enough.
I remember when candy bars were $1, so I don't know how much they are now. So SpongeBob. Hang on. All right, go ahead. All right. So SpongeBob irritatedly, I don't know how you say this, builds his fucking bubble stand. Charges 25 cents per blowing a bubble, and then charges 25 cents per lesson. When he originally hands Patrick this bubble blowing wand without giving the lesson, he just lets Patrick fail, right? Like, Patrick blows for like a minute straight in the episode, which led me to SpongeBob would be a great dad. Because he allows Patrick to fail at what he's doing and then goes, hey, what if you do it this way? Like, he doesn't, take over and, show him how to do it, demean him. He's just like, let me teach you. And obviously he charges him 25 cents and it's his own 25. That doesn't matter,
Counterpoint, SpongeBob is borderline a terrorist.
SpongeBob sucks so much, dude. As a neighbor, I would punch him. I hate him. He's like the Always Sunny neighbor whenever they move to the suburbs. I mean, honestly, he sucks.
Yeah, he's horrible. And also a capricious god. Obviously, it's cruel. His existence is to destroy Squidward.
It's also described as a frat jock in our previous episode. And if there's anyone worse to live next to than a frat jock, then let me know.
The movie Neighbors is with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen is a perfect example of what SpongeBob is, where he's just having a good time, Zac Efron's character, and Seth Rogen is like, hey, what if you toned it down a little bit? And which is Squidward, and then SpongeBob, which is Zac Efron, is like, what if I didn't, And then that's every episode of SpongeBob that involves those two. It's just like, that is perfect, actually. He is a frat bro, 100%. Without the raping of women and stuff, but...
So we're just confirming he's a frat jock, but... Okay, yeah.
My next note I wrote down is going to lead to my favorite quote of the episode before you even asked for it, Clayton. So here we go. It's a giraffe.
Okay.
Oh my god. I don't know because of that stupid sponge core thing that is on YouTube of like the Patrick Star, but him saying it's a giraffe to an elephant, top tier. They're onto it. They get it. They know what my simple brain wants, and they delivered.
Yeah, it's an incredible line. It gets me every single time. There's not a time that has never gotten me. And again, this time on rewatch, loved it.
There was one note I had typed out, and it was a pretty small thing that seemed unimportant, but it just kind of stuck in my mind. It was when Squidward decided, I'll humor these guys. I'll give them 25 cents to blow some bubbles, and he reaches into his skin pockets and pulls out a quarter, and I was like, "Oh, what do we have going on here, huh?"
And also that quarter is counterfeit.
Yes.
Not only is the quarter counterfeit, they abide by American currency. Where is the C at?
I mean,
Where do they wash up in the SpongeBob movie? That could answer your question. It's off of California,
Which SpongeBob movie?
Wherever David Hasselhoff lives.
Well, the place is like, I think it's off of Hawaii or something like that because it was a bombing site. Isn't that what the conspiracy channel said or something? I can't remember. Like Bikini Bottom is where they tested the atomic bomb.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Bikini Atoll. That's a place where they tested one of the hydrogen bombs at Bikini Bottom. Have to watch this video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
it's all
think
linked
it's
to Godzilla. You're correct. They awoke something.
But also one thing I took a note out of is when they go back to the house after Squidward yells at him because he's still a jerk, and he goes to blow a bubble, and they just teleport back to the stand, just like rubber bands back. They're like, that'd be 25 cents. I love that.
Did you notice that Squidward bubbles, even when he blew the big one, they were all like fucking wrinkly and shit?
They were wobbly as shit. Yes.
Weird.
Well, he just yelled. Like, he could be a deathcore screamer with that yell, man. Let me tell you, I popped that bubble, I'm fucking moshing in the pit after what he has in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also... go ahead.
After he screams the bubble, Squidward's kind of feeling himself. So he's like, I showed you guys what was what. So then he goes back to playing his clarinet, and all of a sudden I'm overtook with the sensation of like, wow, he's really playing it like this jazz solo, and it's quite beautiful to my ears. So Squidward really just needs the confidence
I
to
agree.
play to his fullest abilities. Yes, Baby J, you had your hand raised.
I was just saying, yeah, he fucking crushes it when he gets hyped. Like, I don't know what he needs, man, because obviously he's an art type of person. He's got self-portraits, he's got his clarinet, but he fucking crushes it on the
And
clarinet
then-
when they're hyping him up.
The stadium for the football game did a great job. And then the art person at the end, whenever he was just angry and he made something more beautiful, blah blah blah. There's potential, Squidward. Maybe in the final episodes he'll actually.
That's the thing. If he wasn't stuck at the Krusty Krab, he could like go to therapy or something and work through all this. He's been a fucking cashier for what, 20 years now at least.
Yes, Baby J.
So, they have similar days off of the Krusty Krab. So is the Krusty Krab closed on
Closed on
certain
Sundays.
days?
Yeah, closed on
It's a
Sundays.
That doesn't
Sunday
sound like
closer?
Mr. Krabs.
No, this man would want the church money. No, don't get me started, Mr. Krabs. But they're both off on the same day. So who's running the Krusty Krab when they're not there? Just food for thought. Food for thought.
Then
I mean,
it has-
obviously, you know the answer is it's kids don't think about it. But I don't know. I feel like Mr. Krabs has like a couple of back pocket slaves or something that he keeps locked up in the depths of the Krusty Krab. I don't know.
Well, he's got a daughter. That's one slave.
Oh God. You know, since we're getting to the gray area again, I seem to really thrive there. I wrote down a note. SpongeBob fucks, right? Like all this hip thrusting movements. He is like thoughts.
He hasn't had like a girlfriend in any episodes that I can.
No, I
think
think him and Sandy get married,
He has so much sensual
So-
tension. Just
and then him and
of.
Patrick
I mean,
get married
girlfriend
and
or
raise
boyfriend. Like,
the clam.
there's the one
And
where
then-
him and Patrick like raise a clam together.
Yes, and then him
But,
and
like,
Sandy get married,
I don't
and
remember that one.
then Pearl and SpongeBob date. I think.
Well, they go to prom together. But
No, I
like
thought
he's
they
not
were-
interested in that. He's just throwing off his moves where he's got the knees fucking.
This is true.
What about when Patrick whispers sensually into SpongeBob and then licks the side of his head, but it's actually just a lollipop or an ice cream?
yeah, because he was really parched that day. But yeah,
So what I'm saying is SpongeBob is not sexually active because he's asexual in the real world, right?
I mean, we just talked about last episode. He was definitely hot for Sandy.
He's trying to get in Sandy's cheeks.
Hey, good one.
Ah,
Got him.
Get in her. What did we so elegantly call it? Her.
Her
Squirrelsy.
squissy?
Censored.
Oh,
Squishy.
stop. I didn't actually want the answer.
That flea-ridden squirrel pussy.
Oh my god!
It's pronounced squise.
Squissé. Okay. To get away from that.
What, squirrel pussy?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I just want to get away from that. I love the Dutch angle of Squidward in between his rocking, the I rock quote. That may be my favorite of this
It's-
episode.
It's like the fucking groovy quote from Evil Dead 2. When he puts
Yeah.
a chainsaw in his hand and he goes, groovy. It's just him
Has the same energy.
ripping on the fucking clarinet and going, I rock.
I love it.
Need more confident Squidward.
Yeah, it's
Usually
fun.
he's so downtrodden and beat down by the ongoings of SpongeBob and his wacky band of characters. It's nice to see Squidward triumph from time to time,
Yes.
especially as I've gotten older and I've begun to relate more with this man or
Wait, so you
Squid.
also
Sorry.
have hundreds of self-portraits of yourself in your art room?
Yes.
I
Okay,
mean, if you
cool.
did art, you would do self-portraits, but yeah,
That's all
actually,
it does.
as I
That's
get
all in the
older, like
background.
Squidward is a more relatable character than SpongeBob. I fucking hate SpongeBob. I like Patrick because he's too stupid to know that he's stupid, and I hate SpongeBob because he's irritating to exist. Like that is his existence, is to irritate, versus like Squidward, who's just trying to fucking live, man. And like we said, we gotta guess he's 35 to 40. He's late in life. He's just trying to fucking exist. And then you got this 20-something SpongeBob dude who's just like, what if it sucked for you though? You know, like I relate to Squidward hard. He just wants to art. I get it. He wants to find it. You know, he's at that point in life where he wants to find what he is in life.
You know, in a later episode, they make a point that the sign of maturity is growing sideburns and gaining an interest in smooth jazz. Squidward has always been interested in smooth jazz. He's in that stage of his life. He's fully matured. He has experiences. He wants to do the stuff he enjoys and have some good times in his fucking tiki house before Father Time comes knocking.
I mean, that's basically what Squidward... I mean, aren't we all striving for what Squidward's striving for?
Yes.
Exactly. And
own a house and to be comfortable? Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, exactly. These guys don't... None of these guys have mortgages. But I don't know if this is a good time, but I kind of have a thought to segue into the next episode, because we kind of start in the next episode with SpongeBob just roasting the shit out of Squidward.
I don't remember what he says.
He calls him boring.
I'm
he's
trying to be boring.
Yeah, he's trying to entertain Sandy. So the next episode is Ripped Pants. They're on the beach of Goo Lagoon. The narrator drops us into it. He's like, Goo Lagoon sucks. Unless you live in Bikini Bottom, which case is pretty neato. And so, like, it's basically a beach. And so Sandy's out there. She's got her full suit on. I don't know why she's enjoying the beach. Makes no sense. SpongeBob is out there in his fucking swimsuit. And then he puts, like, sand on himself. He says, hey, look, I'm Sandy. All right, that's a pretty good joke. You know what, SpongeBob, you got it. Then he, like, forms the sand onto his head and nose and becomes Squidward and says, hey, look, I'm boring. Like he fucking roasts Squidward,
God,
man.
his ass.
Cold.
Cold. Ooh,
You know, Squidward's just
SpongeBob,
trying
that's
to make
cold.
Squidward's just trying to make a life for himself, and SpongeBob comes in hot with this. Look, I'm Squidward. I'm boring.
And this is completely unprovoked. Squidward's not even there.
No, he's not even
in the episode. Hey.
Yeah, that really is how young people are. They'll just fucking latch on to anything to talk poorly about.
Dude, like the kids I work with are like that. They're like, "What do you do?" I do schoolwork and play video games.
I don't like how we can refer to people who's younger.
But yeah.
Well, Clayton, we're older now, so
yeah, no, I understand the logic. It tracks.
SpongeBob is a menace.
He's a menace. There's water underwater. You know what I'm saying? We're at the beach somehow.
It's not like water; it's goo.
But how does it make him waves?
You know what? Don't ask too many questions, buddy. How do they have fire? There's later in the episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. SpongeBob's God's the answer.
They're hanging out at the beach, chilling, and then Larry the Lobster, first appearance of Larry the Lobster, comes up and asks Sandy if she wants to go lift weights. Sandy, being the karate master that she is, says abso-fucking-lutely. SpongeBob, being the wimp-ass bitch that he is, just follows along. And you see Larry and Sandy lift weights. And then you come to SpongeBob, who lifts a stick. Suddenly there's a crowd? Question mark?
Maybe they've always been there?
I think they were there for
It's
Larry.
like a Venice Beach thing, but like children don't associate with that. It's really weird to me, like thinking back on that. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. There'd be people watching them.
I mean, it could be. It looks kind of like an Olympic lifting contest or something. Like maybe there is some kind of event going on. They just didn't explain it all. But
yeah, I mean, just watching an Olympic weighting event, one of the contestants just pulls this land squirrel, and they're just lift with them.
That's a silly theory though, because it's Larry literally just says, "You want to come lift weights?"
Let's
So
go lift weights.
it totally hasn't been a speech
But
situation.
they're lifting so impressive weights that people just have to gather and watch.
The meme that comes from this, like I said in last episode, that comes from this one that I didn't realize is Larry the Lobster leaning over, and he has clippers for hands. But somehow, when I watched it, you interpret it of him lifting with like one finger and one thumb, and him going observe. I don't know. I don't know what he's lifting with his claw, like his full claw, because he can't separate his fingers. But it just feels like he's just like not even trying. He just goes observe, lifts that shit over his head like nothing. The grunts that he makes when he's doing a lifting weights bit is so funny to me. I don't know why. He just I don't know. It's just good shit to me.
Also, Larry seems to hate SpongeBob.
Yes, the smug way he said his name.
Want to go
SpongeBob.
lift weights?
It just seems like he knows that he can't lift, so he doesn't invite him, like type of thing. Not to like jump back to last episode, but like SpongeBob bullies Squidward.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
But then gets bullied in this episode.
It's kind of refreshing.
It's a trickle down effect.
Yeah, I mean Reagan had it right from the beginning, am I right, boys?
SpongeBob encouraged us to bully the people that were lesser than us, and you can't tell me otherwise.
No, I agree. I mean, SpongeBob is pro Reagan economics. We see it in the episode. He's.
This is also a political podcast, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah, we dive deep into
Reagan,
the.
We'll throw that in
Reagan.
there every once in a while, just to keep you on your toes.
Who are you voting for, Tommy?
Reagan. That's right. Correct answer.
He's going to be right in for
Moving
Reagan.
on. How did you guys feel about the ripped pants bit?
Oh, I loved that bit, especially like the 30th time that he did it.
When he was dying?
Yeah, that was the best part.
I feel like everyone has done that bit, whether they meant to or not. Like, I'm dying. Oh, wait, no, this is a joke.
Classic.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, like, I'm off put by him just forcing his underwear into everyone's face.
When he goes to the burger bar or whatever.
Just knocks this guy's drink over, shoves his underwear in his face, and is like, "Isn't this funny? It's hilarious. You should laugh."
The surfer guy that laughed, he thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, no,
he was his hype man.
Yeah, it was his hype man.
You are too funny, dude.
But also, like, into his faking his own death thing, we get 2 banger quotes right there. Like, holy fish paste, it's a guy, and then I need a tailor. Those are God tier.
I currently work at Men's Warehouse. And if someone walks in and just hands me a pant and says I need a tailor next time, I'm crying. Like, you don't even realize what you've quoted.
Yeah, so obviously after failing to pretend his own death to get a laugh, who would have guessed that wouldn't have worked? I love when he's doing his note taking. He's like pretending to drown. No,
all caps.
So I guess he learns. He learns not to fake his own death. That's good. Good character development.
A fun fact to add to this: this marks the first episode where SpongeBob does his signature laugh. So
interesting.
I thought that was interesting.
It's very interesting. Didn't even pay attention before.
Yeah,
honestly.
that was 2 C's. So that means it's technically 4 episodes in. And then he gets dejected and rejected by everyone, and then he goes and meets some other people who suck at the beach. And then he suddenly starts singing a song because they're all musically talented.
Well, wait. Before that, he just his last attempt is just to go fully underwear, which leads to his pants being sentient for some reason.
Well,
Oh
his,
yes,
his
yes.
pants are unripped and then rip every time he does a joke. How many swim trunks does he bring?
That's a good question. I actually never pay attention to that. They're always being different ones.
It always makes a sound of being ripped. I don't know if it means it's ripped every time, but
Maybe
Yeah.
since he's a sponge, he grows his clothes and he just reproduces them every time they're ripped.
I mean, that I guess that made sense if he's growing them, why they're sentient.
Yeah, there you go.
But back to what Baby Joe was saying, banger of a song.
another banger. Obviously, he sings a song. Um, it's based on a Beach Boys song, "Be True to Your School" or something. It's quite obvious when they're like, "Be true to yourself," and then whatever. But like, I don't know. It is a banger though. I'll be honest. It actually swaps from being Tom Kenny, the voice actor of SpongeBob, to someone else. So
I mean, I'd be amazed if Tom Kenny was doing that singing. It's beautiful. Also, I'm disturbed by the performance because everyone is just so eager in this newly found band to show their underwear.
yeah, no, there's it's like New One Direction girls where they like trample each other and then someone dies and they're like, that's not important. And then they like watch the One Direction concert. Like it's like that.
Wait, is that
Okay.
a real thing?
Peter Strauss is the name of the person who sings the song, by the way. Don't know what he does, but there you go. There
But
it is.
that's the name. We're all better for hearing it.
My one final note. I don't know quite why I put it. I think it's because he loses his underwear at the end, but I just
Yeah.
have sponge cock.
Yeah, no,
I
it, like
have-
flies
Yeah.
away, and he's like goes whoop, and he's embarrassed because of that. But like, I don't know. Yeah,
I have SpongeBob Ken doll, so.
Oh,
So which do you want more?
SpongeCock. Sold out crowd, by the way, for this concert. Don't know when they posted it. Don't know if they used Ticketmaster. It's good questions.
Apparently, in some overseas areas, including Italy, the episode would just end when the concert was beginning.
Is there a reason?
They didn't want to show this guy showing his underwear, I guess.
Or is it because he just goes fully naked? He's just putting his butthole in the air, laying it
Could be
all out in
that.
the line.
suggestive.
But he's
Yeah,
a sponge.
I don't understand how a rectangle character could be suggestive, but there it is.
Yeah, because
Cue a picture of him jerking up.
no, because it's not like, at least in later episodes, where they'll go like to the matte painting, like we talked about, and it's just like his thicky cheats, like with Doodle Bob. It wasn't like it was anything of that. It's just flat bots.
So yeah, there we go. Anything else to add to Rip's pants? What are our
I like
numerical
the,
ratings for Ripped
I like
pants
the sand in the buns is the
Yeah,
That's real good.
and BubbleStand combined?
yeah.
BubbleStand.
So IMDb has it at 8.5. I'd probably put it at a 6.5. I think the first
Really?
episode really introduces the characters really well. I think this episode introduces Patrick well, but SpongeBob is so fucking irritating, man. So irritating.
Really, 6.5. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
What
gonna
about you,
drop
Tommy?
down.
3 sponges out of 5.
Okay. Noah?
I'll give it a 3.5 sponges out of 5.
Jack?
Bubbles is it's a great episode.
I disagree with all of you. I'm going to give this a 9 sponges out of 9.8 sponges.
Oh,
All right.
When I was a 5-year-old boy, there was nary a SpongeBob episode that made me laugh harder than Ripped Pants, simply for the childish sort of thing of him fucking bending over and showing us them sponge cheeks. You know, when you're a young child, target audience is SpongeBob. Nothing
Yeah.
better than some sponge cheeks to make you laugh.
I don't agree with any of you, but Jack, yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think this is the standard of what a SpongeBob episode is. This is how most of them are, and I think this is the bar. You want to be at this bar or above it. I think this is it. This is great.
You think this is better than the first 3
Absolutely,
episodes? 2.5
absolutely, not even a competition for me. I give the first one a 6.5.
All right. Well, there we go. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Sponge Dudes. We'll be back to review episode 3A and 3B, and we hope to see you there.
Goodbye, my spongies.
Sponge it up.
Oh god.
Go Bobo.
Pinkies out.
Pinkies up.